Or Nick, let's talk about the Dallas Cowboys. We've talked about the Cowboys a lot lately, but there's a lot to talk about because what have we seen lately? Constant great move after great move out of the Cowboys. They're really going in a different direction, and there's a lot to like about the direction they're going in. And this latest move is more of the same, more proof. Another great signing by the Cowboys. We'll get in that in just a minute. But first, I'm Andrew, and this is Saturday Morning Inspection. Nick, as I allude to, another great signing, another great coach joining Schottenheimer's staff for the Cowboys. Let's get on into the tweet and we can talk more about it on the other side. So over on X from @ClarenceHill Jr. says, can confirm the Dallas Cowboys are indeed hiring Kansas State OC and O-line coach Connor Riley to coach online on Brian Schottenheimer's staff. Another highly touted get for Schotty. I think this is a great signing for the Cowboys, Nick. Curious what your thoughts are on this one. But before we get to you, Cowboys fans, in the comment section below, again, another top signing for the Cowboys, showing Schottenheimer and this staff. They've really got a great plan going. Does this change your mind finally? Is this another sign that the Cowboys staff, they had a plan this whole time? They're going along. What do you grade this one? Is this an A hire? You love it. Is it a C hire? You're not really even sure who the guy is, but maybe it'll be okay. Or is this an F hire and you hate it? Let us know your thoughts on this hire in the comment section below. But nonetheless, Nick, what do you think about this latest for the Cowboys?
Phenomenal hire for a number of reasons. First and foremost, Riley at his time at Kansas State, he was known as a talent maximizer. And being an O-line coach and being a talent maximizer goes hand in hand because in today's day and age, modern football with 7-on-7s at the high school, middle school, I don't know, maybe even elementary school level these days, and of course, all the way through college, the finer points of offensive line play, especially in the running game, have completely fallen off the wayside. Most teams all the way up through college basically run some standard inside zone read concept, keep things very, very simple. And the reality is a lot of young offensive linemen then get to the National Football League and they're totally unprepared and it takes a lot of development. Kansas State with Riley was different. They did a lot of polling, down block, double teams. They ran a complex running offense and they ran it extremely well. They put up great numbers despite being Kansas State, a traditionally very good team, but far from a blue blood program. They competed and beat a lot of really good teams running the football with running quarterbacks and running backs. Of course, Deuce Vaughn played his career at Kansas State. So we're looking at a guy here in Riley who knows how to unleash and maximize the talent on his offensive line. And let's look at this Cowboys offensive line because it's in a transitionary period. This is different than 2014, 2015, where Dallas had used those first round picks, obviously getting Martin, Smith, Frederick, not in that order, of course, and they had Bill Callahan in the fold, and they were already playing at a high level. And in that point, it was just about, okay, let's work around the edges a little bit. Let's clean a few things up because on paper, this is an elite group if we just clean everything up just a little bit more. And that's what Callahan came in and did for the Dallas Cowboys. Good offensive line coach for that situation. This is a transition Cowboys offensive line. They're going a lot younger. I honestly think the two starting tackles will be Richards and Guyton, right? I think they're going to cut Terrence Steele for cap purposes. Could be wrong, but we'll see how it all shakes out. Two young guys, right? You're going Guy Richards going to his third year, Guyton his second year. Cooper Beebe, who, by the way, played for Riley at Kansas State. He's going to love this. He's going to be the starter. Tyler Smith's a star, but he's obviously a younger player. And Zach Martin, I don't know what he's going to do. I kind of feel like he's going to hang it up, which means Brock Hoffman's going to step into the fold. Again, younger player. You're going to be dealing with a young offensive line. You need an offensive line coach who knows how to deal with these young players and get the best out of them, keep them motivated, keep them working. It's a different strategy if you're going with a veteran group. If this is 2021, this is not a great hire by the Dallas Cowboys, right? You need a different focus. It's 2025. This offensive line's in total transition. They're heading into a new era, and they've got good players. Smith is a stud. Guyton showed flashes. He did the penalties and a lot of the disaster plays. He just needs to really minimize that. Kind of like Trayvon Diggs in 2020, flashes but too many negative plays. I think Guyton can clean that up with good coaching, so Riley can help there. Richards almost looks like a hidden gem at tackle. I think he could be a good player. And of course, Hoffman's just a fun guy to watch, just a nasty dude. And Beebe, I think getting him upgrade over Tyler Biadasz, that turned out to be a nice move by the Cowboys front office and Will McClay. So overall, this is a young, feisty group. They just need a coach to work this group together. And his schemes, the down blocking, the traps, the pulling guards, centers, and tackles, exactly what Schottenheimer wants to run as part of his entire offense. Again, once again, you said it in the opening. it's not getting a lot of attention, but this Cowboys offseason, nothing but really smart moves, football-minded moves. Been a long time since we can say that. Oh, probably about a month ago, a lot of Cowboys fans, you guys were pretty bummed out, I think, in the direction of this franchise. Right now, you have enough reason to be cautiously optimistic because for the first time in a very long time, maybe since 2003, that's how long it's been, the Cowboys are making football-related moves and good ones at that.
Yeah, Nick. And I think when you look at Riley, what he brings, you look at the body of work he put out while he was at Kansas State. He did a lot of good things. The offensive line they ran there allowed this offense to do a lot of good things. Average 34.6 per game, 34.6 points per game, excuse me, top 20 in NCAA. That's really good. They averaged 200 rushing yards per game in consecutive seasons. I think that was really, really good stuff for him as well. And I think now the most important part, what is the offensive line? Like, how is that affected? They surrendered fewer than 2 sacks per game. That's the average they had for all 5 years he was on staff there. Only, like, I believe it said 8 other teams in the FBS have the ability to say they could do that. Really solid offensive line allowed this offense at Kansas State to do a lot of really, really good stuff. So I think he's a very sneaky, under the radar type of hire, the same kind of hires the Cowboys have been making this entire offseason. It's a guy that I think we're going to see him transform this offensive line. It's going to make a huge jump, and people are going to be like, where did that come from? Well, if you look at what the Cowboys have been doing, they knew this was going to come. They knew this was the right guy for the staff. Schottenheimer's done a really great job so far. I'm excited about what the Cowboys have to offer. And I think next year, people are going to be surprised. Like you said, cautiously optimistic, but we're leaning towards optimistic now. We're not, everything's dying. We're all going, the Cowboys are going to lose, and we should burn the team, Jerry sell the team. We're leaning more towards the optimistic side of the gauge here. We're right at yellow green. I think it's about to get into the full green here. I think the Cowboys are doing a lot of really smart stuff.